The smell of motor oil clung to my uniform as I pulled into my driveway after a 12-hour shift. I hit the garage remote, revealing my pride and joy, a 1967 Camaro SS I'd spent 18 months rebuilding from a rust bucket into perfection. Chrome that could blind you, hugger orange paint so deep you could swim in it. Then my world exploded. Someone call 911. He stole my car. My HOA President neighbor Brenda came charging across the lawn like a rabid pit bull, cell phone pressed to her ear. Yes, there's a black man stealing my car right this second. Send everyone! Police sirens wailed in the distance. She'd called before even confronting me. I stood in my own driveway, holding my own keys, looking at my own car, about to be arrested for theft. My name is Marcus Rodriguez, third-generation mechanic. When my divorce finalized, I bought a modest house in Willowbrook Estates, a middle-class HOA community where lawns are perfect and everyone supposedly minds their business. The Camaro wasn't a midlife crisis. I found her at an estate sale 18 months ago, a rusted corpse most would have scrapped. $3,200 later, she was mine. Every weekend became my resurrection project. New 350 small block, rebuilt transmission, complete suspension overhaul. The paint job alone took 4 months. I documented every bolt with photos for insurance, kept every receipt in a binder thicker than a phone book. Enter Brenda Wilson, human embodiment of an HOA fever dream. Real estate agent, white BMW, manicured nails that never touched actual work, and a smile that could freeze antifreeze. She'd been HOA president for 3 years, weaponizing paperwork against anyone who crossed her. Trash cans left out 12 minutes past pickup. Fence posts measuring wrong. Mailbox fonts not Willowbrook approved. She once cited me for grass allegedly exceeding 2.5 inches. Showed up with an actual ruler. 2 weeks before the garage incident, she'd complained about my weekend car work. There's a noise ordinance. No power tools after 6 p.m. I stayed diplomatic. City ordinance permits hobby work until 9 p.m. Her smile turned arctic. We'll see about that. The day everything exploded started with Brenda's pool party. Through my garage walls, I heard her voice, "Oh, that's my new Camaro. Just bought it from a classic dealer in Phoenix. $45,000, but totally worth it. They're shipping it next week." My socket wrench clattered to the floor. She was showing people photos on her phone, photos of a car identical to mine. That afternoon, I fired up my baby and backed out. The 350's rumble echoed like mechanical thunder. When I returned, Brenda stood in her driveway staring at my car with the intensity of a hawk watching prey. That night, she spent hours online, convincing herself I'd stolen her imaginary purchase. When 2 patrol cars screeched into my driveway with full lights blazing, 4 officers poured out like they were responding to an armed robbery. Officer Rodriguez approached calmly. "Evening, sir. We received a report about a stolen vehicle. The absurdity hit me like a brick." "Stolen vehicle? This is my car in my garage at my house." Brenda materialized beside the officers. "That's him. That's the car thief. I just bought that exact Camaro yesterday for $45,000. I took a deep breath. "Officers, I can prove ownership right now." I pulled out my phone, scrolling. Through my restoration album. Rust bucket to rolling chassis to painted perfection. Rodriguez studied the photos with genuine interest. "That's serious craftsmanship. You do this professionally?" "Family business. My grandfather would have beaten me with a wrench for sloppy work." Brenda thrust printed photos at the officers, generic dealer stock photos downloaded minutes before calling 911. "I wired the money yesterday." Officer Chen examined her evidence. "Ma'am, do you have purchase documentation? Bill of sale, wire transfer receipts, dealer contact?" Brenda's face turned fire engine red. "It's all being processed. The dealer said paperwork takes time." I dug through my garage workbench and pulled out my 3-ring binder. "Here's my DMV registration. 18 months old. My name, this address, matching VIN." Rodriguez's flashlight danced across the official document. Everything aligned perfectly. Insurance policy, too. Progressive required restoration progress photos for agreed value coverage. I flipped to the next sleeve. "Officers, he obviously forged everything," Brenda sputtered. From the back of my binder, I extracted a piece of yellow legal paper. 1967 Chevrolet Camaro, condition as is, extensive rust damage, $3,200 cash. Buyer assumes all responsibility. Below that, Eleanor Hutchinson's signature from 18 months ago. Rodriguez examined the handwritten bill of sale. This is the original purchase document? Eleanor was selling her late husband's project cars. Sweetest lady you'd ever meet. Made me promise to bring the car back when I finished. The silence was complete. Chen closed his notebook. Ma'am, this gentleman has clear chain of ownership spanning over a year. Your evidence appears to be internet printouts. Rodriguez's tone shifted. Ma'am, filing a false police report is a misdemeanor offense. My dad was a prosecutor for 30 years. People get real jail time for knowingly providing false information. Color drained from Brenda's face. There must be some terrible mistake. The stress of car shopping, you know. But her eyes told a different story. As officers left, I caught her staring through her window with cold calculation. This wasn't over. Monday morning brought an HOA violation notice. My work van allegedly violated community standards. $200 fine, 48-hour deadline. I spent lunch at the courthouse digging through records. My van was purchased in 2017, 3 years before Willowbrook enacted commercial vehicle restrictions in 2020. Vehicles owned before rule changes were grandfathered in. Brenda had zero legal authority. By Wednesday, 3 more violation notices appeared. Alleged oil stains, excessive automotive odors, noise violations during legal hours. The woman was carpet bombing me with paperwork. I went full security mode. 4 high-definition cameras with night vision, cloud storage, motion sensors. Footage revealed Brenda's new hobby, property line surveillance. Every morning, she'd patrol our fence with her iPhone, taking photos, measuring distances. Thursday evening brought an emergency board meeting. Notice at 4 p.m. for 7 p.m., barely legal. 3 women sat around a table, Brenda, nervous Clara, and nodding Janet. We're implementing an emergency ban on all automotive repair activities. Past violations carry $500 fines. Pulled out my phone. Section 4.3 requires 7 days notice for voting matters. Section 4.7.